Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our Duke of Edinburgh Couch to College session. Today's session is going to be presented by Graham from the Duke of Edinburgh and Gavin, who is one of our team leaders here at the Manchester College. And we've also got Paul from the Duke of Edinburgh on hand too. Throughout the session, please feel free to use the Q&A box to the right of your screen, ask any questions you may have, and we'll do our best to answer them all at the end of the session. I'll now pass you over to Graham to get the session started.
Thanks, Christian. First and foremost, just a quick good evening, everyone who's obviously gave up their time, to come and join us. Hopefully, we'll make this as engaging as possible. The format that we're going to go for is I will take you through as much information surrounding the DofE Award as possible within the time limit we've got. And then, like Christian said, we will have ample time at the end for plenty of Q&A. So if you have got a question throughout, just make a note of it, and then we will address it towards the end. So first and foremost, what is the DofE Award? As you can see on the slide, the DofE Award really is there just to inspire and empower young people. It is all about self-development, and it is there to recognise achievements. So a few sort of the logistics surrounding it is open to any person aged 14 to 24. There are 3 levels of the award, which are bronze, silver and gold. And at the Manchester College, the offer on the table will be for bronze and silver levels. The award is achieved by completing 4 sections, which is volunteering, physical, skills, and finally the expedition section, which is obviously the most exciting part. Each section requires a certain time limit as well as a certain amount of evidence to complete, but obviously we'll cover that a little bit later. But as you can see there, the volunteering is basically about undertaking a service to help individuals, which should be free of charge, and it is about giving back to the community. The physical section is all about improving on an area of sport, dance or fitness activities. Now, this isn't to say that the DofE is going to turn you into an athlete. It is open to all ability levels, and we do recognise that some people have different interests than others. So it is really up to you in terms of what physical activities you do choose. And then obviously the skills section, as you can see there, is about developing practical and social skills as well as personal interests. And this is probably one of the most interesting sections of the award because it gives you a chance to explore a skill that you may not have got the chance to if you hadn't started the DofE. And then finally, obviously the expedition does require planning and training for, but it is all about completing an adventurous journey. Now, to some people, this is quite new. It might be the first time that you are camping out, for example, or staying away from home. But the DofE is there to support on all aspects of planning throughout the expedition. So that is just a very brief overview of what the DofE is. If you look towards the top of this slide, the hashtag DofEWITHADIFFERENCE really is catered towards the current situation within COVID-19. What we don't want to happen is for young people to stop progressing with that award. So if lockdown, for example, does continue throughout to 2021, we have sort of catered the award and we've tailored it so that young people can progress throughout. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the presentation, but it's just to make you aware of it. And you can also obviously look towards hashtag DofEWITHADIFFERENCE on our Instagram and Twitter pages. So moving on, we mentioned that the Manchester College will be offering the bronze and silver sections of the award, or levels of the award, sorry. And this is just really to give you an idea of the timescales that we'd expect this to be completed in. Now, we do understand that people have lives and other responsibilities, and that some sections may take a little bit longer to complete than others. However, this again is just to give you a brief overview. If you were to start the award in September, we would expect you to complete the volunteering, physical and skills section over a 3-month period, But as mentioned, people's responsibilities and lives do come into this, so you can take slightly longer. The expedition at bronze level is over 2 days and 1 night, and that is an assessed expedition, so it's not as if we can sort of make it longer or shorter. You would expect it to be away from home for 1 night, camping, and obviously you've got 2 days of hiking and completing aims with a purpose around that as well. So again, although there is a timescale attached, the Duke of Edinburgh, especially at bronze level, is quite flexible. and we can sort of cater that towards people's lives. As long as you continue to show progression and you upload evidence around these sections, then obviously we can always extend if need be. Right, just quickly moving on. The next video that we will show is just going to be an overview of what's included in the Bronze Award. So sit back, relax, and hopefully it should work.
Hey, I'm Elle, and you lot sat there are basically me a couple of years ago. I've just finished my gold, but when I first started my bronze, I had no idea what to expect. Back then, I didn't know how it all worked, but I reckon I could do a good job of telling you now. So here goes. So for your bronze award, you have to choose an activity for each of the 4 sections: physical, skills, volunteering, and then your expedition. You might already be doing an activity that counts, or you can choose to try something new.
For my physical, I chose to improve my rowing, but you can choose from a whole load of other activities like these guys.
I play rugby.
We played badminton.
I played football.
Anyway, then you get to volunteer. There's so many ways you can make a difference here, and you'll get to meet some incredible people. And then for my skill, I joined my skills debating club. You can pretty much do any skill you want, if your leader approves. My mates ended up doing all sorts, like
Acting. Learning Latin.
singing! And you get to do a really fun 2-day expedition, exploring some amazing scenery like this.
So just moving on from that video, obviously it's always nice to hear from someone who's actually completed the award. And as you can see, there is a wide range of activities that you can take part in. Mentioned from sort of rowing through to rugby. Now, we mentioned before, obviously, when it does come to the physical section, we aren't looking to turn people into athletes, and we're not looking for the most sporting competitors. It really is catered towards your ability level and what you can complete. So looking just at the list on the screen now, completing the Couch to 5K or any of that NHS fitness sessions is applicable towards the DofE physical section. You could do an hour's YouTube fitness video each week. Obviously, within lockdown, the Joe Wicks PE sessions have been very popular and have been used by other DofE participants within their physical sections. Obviously, get outside and do some circuit training. Going out on your bike in the local area can also be applicable, and completing different walks within your local area. So although it's not about pushing yourself to the physical sort of limit, what we do like to see is people making that effort, and it is all about setting a challenge for yourself. So although you might not be the most sporting individual, even if you aren't, set that challenge and see if you can build up towards it. A really good example is one on the bottom there, fitness challenges. Now, we're not asking for 100 press-ups a day or anything like that, but what we would like to see is if someone sets that challenge of completing 100 press-ups, then they build up towards that throughout their 3-month period and obviously upload that evidence into their eDofE account. So the physical section, although yes, we would like to see people pushing themselves, again, isn't about turning people into athletes. It's about you choosing a goal and really working towards that goal for the benefit of yourself and obviously self-improvement, So moving on to the volunteering section, again, you heard a few examples in that short video that was played before. And this is just another very brief overview of the kind of activities that we would like young people to take part in. So, for example, working with other charities is very popular within the DofE. Obviously, on that list there, you've got the St John's Ambulance, the Young Carers Project, and the British Heart Foundation. But it's not necessarily what we expect. We would like you to go out and sort of volunteer in any capacity that you see fit. As long as it's for free and you're kind of working to help support the community, then it would be kind of okayed by your leader. And again, we will be on hand to support. Now, you can see there, again, it does mention about coronavirus and obviously how people are affected during lockdown. It could be something as simple as Skype talking, FaceTiming or WhatsApp calling an elderly neighbour or family member who are isolated in this hard time. And that would be you volunteering your time to help support and give something back to the community. Another very good example on the bottom there is maintaining a Facebook, Instagram or social media page. If this is something that you're interested in, although it is classed as quite a niche profession, if you're happy to do it for free and it is supporting your local community, then we would accept this as something for your volunteering section. Going back, however, to working with other charities, again, this is very popular within the DofE, and it also allows us to work and network a little bit with other charities and also come together, which is what volunteering is all about. So preparing sessions for the likes of Beavers or Cubs or Rainbow groups is something that we'd obviously love to see from our young people who are taking part in the award. However, if you are a young carer and you have got responsibilities within your home life, then again, this does count towards your volunteering, as you can see there in that paragraph. So that is pretty much a brief, again, overview of some of the things we would accept within volunteering, but we are quite flexible. If you think that you are giving up your time to help support the community, which is obviously a key phrase there, then speak to your leader or speak to your operations officer, and they'd be able to advise you on if your activity would be accepted within the volunteering section. Moving on to the expedition, which is probably the most exciting part of the Bronze Award, or any of the award. This is a chance for you to learn new skills and meet people and be outdoors. Now, this can be quite new to some people, especially if they are starting on the Bronze Award. Mentioned previously, that it might be the first time that you are actually away from family, from mum and dad, and you are with people in an outdoor setting. For example, it might be the first time that you've actually camped outdoors. So the expedition really is something new, and it's something that does build up your resilience. I again mentioned previously before, the planning that surrounds the expedition section will include things like the navigational skills of reading a map and using a compass, campcraft, which we've just briefly mentioned, so setting up tents and using camping stoves. Obviously, first aid. For example, if there is an emergency when you are on expedition, then you have to know how to deal with this. And obviously this can be, again, something quite new to people. Obviously, packing a rucksack and planning a menu, you have to be self-sufficient throughout your expedition, and you are responsible for your own food and hygiene. And then finally, risk assessment and emergency procedures, which is closely linked to the first aid training that you obviously would complete. Again, if something goes wrong, we would just, like all young people, have the responsibility of knowing that they can deal with it. And what this basically does and what it is there for, again, is to build up resilience. Now, what we mean by that is if you are in a challenging environment and you don't know how to deal with these situations, you can find yourself slightly overwhelmed. We don't want that to happen. We want the young people taking part in the awards to be completely trained up, so when they do go on expedition, obviously they've got ample preparation and training to deal with anything. You might find yourself, for example, faced with harsh weather conditions, or as mentioned previously, a first aid scenario. And when you are faced with these situations by yourself, that's when you do discover that obviously you are building up resilience for yourself. Once people do complete the bronze section of the award, that's when they really do sort of, and I'm sure Paul will agree with us on this, feel that sense of achievement. And that's when they do want to develop and go on to the silver and finally gold. So it is a chance really to complete something that you wouldn't have the chance to otherwise. The next slide that we're going to sort of cover is the DofE expedition guidance, and this is until summer 2021. Now, the reason that this is in place and the reason we felt this relevant to share is due to the COVID-19 situation. A lot of sort of expeditions have had restrictions put on them, and they have been required to change their planning because of the lockdown measures. And again, as the DofE, what we want to do is adapt to our environment. So all the restrictions within that slide are what we've put in place so that colleges, schools can still complete their expeditions, but it's within those restrictions just mentioned. So for example, if you're using a local route, consider minimum journeying hours, so you're not going too far afield and potentially spreading the virus. Not to say that obviously anyone has got it. At all levels now, participants can return home to sleep if you are within that sort of local area. Again, some may say that this takes away from the exciting part, but it's all about staying safe, obviously within the current situation. So if you can return home to sleep, we recommend that you do so, and then that obviously you come back fresh early in the morning the next day, ready to complete your expedition. However, saying that, participants don't need to carry additional COVID required kit or anything like that. Those restrictions and those variations are still in place. All levels though, can use the same location and can stay familiar, whereas normally at silver and gold level, we would expect you to travel further afield, possibly to wild country for gold level, and really get a feel for being isolated. That doesn't apply at the minute, but it also wouldn't apply with you guys all starting at bronze level. And then finally, you can camp on school grounds if it's within obviously the risk assessments of the college in this case. So some of them, obviously, I'll give you just a brief minute to kind of overview them, and they are some of the DofE expedition guidance that has been put in place until summer 2021. Now, just quickly, before moving on, I am going to bring Gavin into this bit, because obviously he's going to talk about the enrichment opportunities that's linked not only to the DofE journey, but what's available within the Manchester College. So, Gavin, are you happy to come in and discuss this slide?
Yeah, hi there. So hello everyone, good to see you here. So I'm Gavin. I'm one of the student experience team leaders at Northern and Wythenshawe campus. So I'm going to explain how we can help you kind of achieve your DofE. So hopefully Graham's shown how good it is, and it's a really good thing to do, really good thing to take part in. Everyone who does it and completes it really enjoys it and gets a really big sense of achievement. Now the thing we've found at college is people want to sign up and they want to do it, but they think, oh, maybe they haven't got the ability, or there's things they can't do. So what we've found is, I would say at bronze level, if you want to do it and you're willing to put the effort in, which is what Graham talked about, you can achieve it, guaranteed. So what we'll do at college is there's a variety of ways we can help you achieve it, and that's what I want to talk about now. So the first thing that would happen is, if you showed some interest, we would actually talk to you, and by talking about what's going on in your life at the moment, we'll probably find some of the skills, volunteering and health and well-being, you're actually doing at the moment. So you just got to start recording it. So you're probably achieving the award already. It's just a way of recording it. If, however, you're not doing that and you want to do some extra things, we can help out at the college. So, for example, as you can see on the slide, we've got the ambassadors there and the achievement, the enrichment champions. Now, what that is, when you join the college, you can volunteer to be a student ambassador or a enrichment champion. And what they do is the ambassadors basically help out at the events. So throughout the year, we'll have different events. We might have open evenings, we have parents' evening, we might have guest speakers, we might have other enrichment events like Fit for Fun, and we ask you to help out. So that can be your volunteering or go towards your volunteering. And the really cool thing about that, in those events, is you don't just help out and take part, we actually ask you to be a part of creating it, which is a really good skill and life skill as well. So not only are you doing things for your DofE, you're also doing other things for your CV and going forward in life. So we've got that, that's for volunteering. The enrichment champions, so throughout your time at college, we have a really big enrichment program. We have guest speakers coming in, we have events. So for example, we have Brooke might come in, it's a Manchester charity, and they talk about relationships. We might have street doctors come in, you may have heard of them, they do first aid, they kind of do real world first aid. And as Graham spoke about earlier, you might need to learn about your first aid on your expedition. So street doctors would come in and they would talk to you and teach you how, if something was happening out in the street, you could deliver first aid. So if we had that as an enrichment event, we would ask you to be a part of that, organising it, welcoming the guest speakers and helping manage it. So from a physical point of view, it says they can get fit with the sporting programs. So throughout the different campuses, we have different clubs going on. So we have football, funnily enough. We have yoga, we have walking, we have badminton, we have all these clubs. So depending on where you're based, you might want to sign up to them. And the other thing we actually encourage you to do is, if there's a club that you want to have, but there isn't one running at the moment, we'll encourage you to set one up. So if you come to us in the student experience team and talk to us, we'll help you set up a club. The next one down is, learning a new skill. So again, same as like the fitness clubs, there are a bunch of different clubs and societies. So we might have a games club, a craft club, drama, dance, chess. So again, you can join in one of those clubs, or if you want to set up a club of your own, you can do that. So for example, last year, a group of young people came to me and said, I want to set up a games club during the lunch break. And they wanted to have like PS4 games. So what I did was I booked the room and helped them with getting the TV. And then they promoted the event. And then every lunchtime, once a week, they had this games club. It got really popular, actually. We had about 20 people a week taking part. So not only have you got the club, but you've also got the life skill about kind of arranging. I guess you call it project management, a bit of a fancy word, but it's basically arranging things. So you've got that skill as well. So in all of these, so within these different sections of volunteering, skills and physical, you are actually, you can use your volunteering sections learning a new skill as well. So if you were to be a part of setting up the event or talking to new people in a volunteering role, you could also use that as a skill. So they all kind of interlink, really. So the biggest thing that Graham's talked about earlier, and I think for all of this at the college, is if you want to do it and you want to put the effort in, you can achieve it. And that's what we'll do there to help you. When you show interest and sign up, depending on your campus, you'll get linked to a person on that campus who will help you, and they'll talk to you and guide you through the process. So it's not like you're just going to sign up and be left to it. We'll help you along the way as well. But I'll explain a bit more about that later. So I think for now, I'm going to hand you back to Graham for the next slide.
Thanks, Gavin. Yeah, so moving on from what Gavin has just said there, I think one of the key points really is that, and it's one of the sort of foundations of the DofE, is that we want to recognise the achievement of young people. And as Gavin said previously, it might be the case that you are already actively involved in the majority of these activities. You might be taking part in a sports club, for example. You might be volunteering your time. You might be developing a new skill every day. And it really is just about us recognizing your achievements and putting them to the forefront. And it's obviously always a good thing when you do sort of receive an award for things that you are already doing, because at the end of the day, you are being recognised. And I think given this day and age, it probably doesn't get seen enough. So just to really amplify what Gavin was saying there, is if you are already taking part in these activities, the DofE doesn't want you to start from scratch. We want you to kind of continue on your journey of self-development, and we want to help you along the way, and more importantly, really kind of push your achievements to the forefront. Aside from that, benefits of the DofE are included on the slide that we're showing at the minute. Major employers across the UK do recognise the DofE award at any level. Obviously, it is slightly more prestigious when you get onto silver and gold. However, the bronze carries equal amounts of weight. As you can see there, the likes of Boots, BT, Honda, Morrison's, Tesco, Vauxhall, all of these do recognise the DofE throughout their employees. And it's something that you can put on your CV. If anyone is interested in going off to university, obviously once they complete their college studies, then UCAS application forms also do sort of recognise the DofE awards as additional effort and additional qualifications and experience. Within obviously this slide, there is a couple of little case studies there, and the ones from the gold award holders, do just give you an oversight of what they do for the young people, that young person, and what they do for that individual. So I think one of the main things that it does do is it gives that young person confidence obviously within their ability, but just confidence to really go out into the working world, into the professional world, and pretty much stand on their own 2 feet. And a lot of that does come from the expedition, but a lot of it comes from every other section that's included. Obviously, a lot of people do attribute the DofE award as a life-changing experience, and they do kind of say that it put them on a path that they otherwise wouldn't have went on if they hadn't achieved that award. So it might be that as you are doing the DofE award, you find out that you do want to develop a new skill, and then obviously you go out, you secure that, and you do start to learn that skill. That's something that really probably wouldn't have been pushed to the forefront of your mind if you didn't sort of start the DofE. So it really is something that can change your life, and it can be done obviously with the effort of yourself, but it can also be done by just continuing on that journey that you're already on, and then, like I say, being recognised for your achievements. Obviously, the DofE does look to give other opportunities that you might not be already interested in, or that you might be interested in and you haven't had the chance to take part in. But the benefits of the DofE really are kind of endless within society. And then again, just some of the things that were previously mentioned there. So why should you do it? Well, we've mentioned really around obviously it going on a UCAS application form, or it going on your CV. But some of the other things it does on a more personal level, it does improve the likes of your communication skills, your planning skills, and a lot more than just that. So you will get the chance to work and obviously to be within someone's team who you might not have, other than if you were doing the DofE. Obviously, you'll sort of contribute towards the community depending on your volunteering section. You'll likely get fitter and healthier when you take part in your physical section. Again, you'll make new friends, but more importantly, you will have memories that will last a lifetime. The benefits of the DofE, and one of the main reasons that you should do it is a chance to challenge yourself. Now, again, we mentioned some of you might already be doing things that contribute towards your award, but again, the DofE just gives you that extra motivation, knowing that you are going to get recognised for those achievements and for what you're doing. Aside from that, or on the flip side of that, if you're not doing anything at the minute that contributes to your award, the DofE will give you the chance to do that, and it will allow you to try new things and obviously progress throughout sort of your college journey to be recognised for another award. And then some of the ones on that list, again, obviously we've already mentioned, you get a chance to get a lot fitter and healthier, you'll enhance your CV, you'll gain independence, obviously you'll give something back to the community, and then you'll also gain self-discipline. That mainly comes from the likes of planning around for the expedition and completing the expedition section, as well as taking part in the other 3. And more importantly, again, you'll make new friends. That's just a very brief oversight of why you should do it. Each individual is different, and the reasons for them doing the DofE are all different. Some people do it because they think it's a chance just to sort of take part in an activity that their friend's doing, but that they then find that when they do start this journey and as they progress through this journey, it is a life-changing opportunity, and it is something that, again, once they have completed, they get that sense of achievement that they probably wouldn't have got otherwise. So yes, everyone has their own reasons for doing the DofE, but they all kind of interlink, and at the end of the day, it is all about that self-development and progression and gaining that award at the end of the day. The next slide, it does move on slightly, but it really it's more of a logistical slide, to be honest, and it is in place mainly because of COVID-19. Obviously, you don't want to sort of discuss the doom and gloom of lockdown and things like that. However, it is something that we do need to address, and that's why the DofE's adapted once again to introduce the DofE Certificate of Achievement. So this certificate is in place if you complete all 3 sections, skills, volunteering and physical, and then you can't complete your expedition because of COVID-19 or anything that kind of became a barrier towards completing it. So what we would like you to do is, once you upload evidence towards your section on eDofE, which can be done via your mobile phone, and obviously you all will have individual accounts if you decide to register, is your leader needs to approve those sections following, obviously, like I say, your evidence and assessor's report by the 31st of December 2020, and then you'll receive a personalised certificate. This certificate isn't the equivalent of a bronze award. However, it does again recognise your achievements, and then what it does allow you to do is progress on to silver level. However, if you do want to come back and achieve your bronze expedition, because generally you don't want to think that you're missing out on anything, and you really do want to sort of complete the award to the full potential that it offers, then you can come back and you can complete your bronze expedition at a later date, whilst progressing throughout the silver award before you get onto that silver expedition. Obviously, information can be found on that link below, and the college will offer sort of information around this as it progresses. But at the minute, it is in place, again, to recognise the achievements of young people throughout COVID-19. At this point, I'm going to hand back over to Gavin, I believe, and he's just going to take you through, obviously, how to register. So, Gavin, are you okay to come in on this part?
Certainly am. So hopefully you're all out there thinking, right, you want to get on with this. So what we'd like to do, since it's the summer holidays, but we'd like to start this if you can and you're interested. So if you're keen, the first thing to do, and we've got this slide here, this will be published later, so the contact details on here you can find later, so don't worry about that. So Julie Stedman, that's the email address up there. She is head of student support for one of the campuses, and she's like overseeing the Duke of Edinburgh Award. So what you do is you email her and you say that you're interested in doing it. What will then happen is you need to start thinking about what you're going to do for your skill, your volunteering, or your physical. Now, like I said before, you might struggle to think what you want to do or what you can do, and that's what we often see. So Julie will put someone in touch with you who can help you, guide you through that. So again, so for example, in the past, talking to people, I've had someone like learn a new skill, they learned to skateboard, some volunteering, I had someone cooking a meal for family, someone to get fit for their physical, they just went out for a walk 15 minutes a day, did it 5 days of the week, and it adds up. So we'll help you with that. So Julie will put you in touch with someone. You then need to record it. Now you can do that. It says there, you can take photographs, you can write a diary, you can put it on social media. If you were, I don't know, if you're doing something fitness wise, you could track it on an app, like a walking tracker, things like that. You'll then need to let your contact at college know what you've done. And then on point 5, when you enroll with us in September, or might be a bit before, we will then sign you up officially to the DofE. You're going to get a free registration at that point for DofE. Usually it costs, so it's free, which is great. You'll already have got on a bit with your kind of like your doing the awards. You'll be what, 1 month in maybe, and we can backdate the work that you've done. So what we're like mid-July. So yeah, you've got a few weeks there to start it before you start your college. So when you actually get into college, you'll be well on your way to doing some of the stuff. Now, if you did want college to help out with some of like the volunteering, if you weren't sure about your volunteering, that's okay. You can do some of the other sections, and then you can do the volunteering section when you turn up. Yeah. And again, we can talk to you about this, so we can guide you through it. And then point 6 is saying really that when you've done your bronze, if that's what you start on, you can always go up and do your silver with us, or you can be a DofE volunteer in the local community, which is really exciting. I can't stress enough, actually. So I've been working with the DofE now for quite a few years in different places. The people who take part really, really enjoy it, and they get so much out of it. It's such a good thing to do. And like Graham's been saying, like you can go to your CV or UCAS, and it's a life skill that you've got. You can't take it away. It's so, so good. And everyone who's completed it, yeah, everybody who completes it is so happy to have done it. Sure, the expedition might get a few people challenged, but that's a good thing. People like that. So I'm going to pass you. Oh no, next slide, please, Graham. I think it's me again. So this is really just the contact details for Julie. Like I said before, I think we're going to publish it on the website, so we can find different ways to get it to you. So that's the email address. All Julie wants to know is who you are, your age, what you want to do, is it bronze or silver, and the college course that you're interested in doing. Okay, and then she'll get back in touch with you. Yeah. Next slide, please, Graham. Any questions? So I think Paul's going to help us here as well. So I shall hand back over, and yeah, hopefully you've got some questions, and we can answer them. Thank you.
Hi guys, yeah, we have had a couple of questions come through, so I'll start with the first one that came through, which was, if I start a physical but I don't like it, can I change to another physical, I would presume?
Graham or Paul?
Hi, Paul here. Yeah, the answer is yes, you can. You can change quite easily from any kind of physical, so that's a yes.
Okay, fantastic. We've had quite a few questions, as you might expect, about expeditions. First one we had was, can I do the skills, volunteering and physical but not the expedition?
On that one again, you can. So you could get this certificate of achievement that Graham's talked about. So you could do that, but often more and more young adults like doing the expedition as well because it's a time out with their friends. But you could definitely just do the skills, the volunteering and the physical if you wanted to.
Great, thanks, Paul. Next question is again about the expedition. How far do I walk on the expedition? Is there a set limit, or can you do what you want, or what would you say about that one?
At bronze, it's quite flat. There's no massive hills, and you would tend to walk for about 4 hours, okay, and then go on to a nice campsite, and then the following day do the same thing. It's silver. It's longer for silver. It's between 5.5 hours. And that's obviously silver is much more challenging. Okay, so is it based on the time rather than the mileage, as it were? Yeah, it's based on the time. So it's based on on an average time for bronze, silver, and gold.
Okay, great.
Can I just add in there a sec, actually?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so on that expert as well, I think what Paul said is the time isn't just solid walking either, is it? So it's you're on this journey. It's also taking in the environment. It's stopping to navigate. Stopping to have a bit of a laugh really with your friends, because it's a fun event. It might be challenging, but it's still fun. So when people think of the time, they think they're just going to be slogged with a big backpack, but it's not like that at all. And actually, the last year, one of the expeditions that happened at the campus happened on the water. So they went on a canal canoeing. Yeah, so it happened in a variety of ways.
Great, sounds fun. Another question about expeditions. Some people I know do a practice expedition before the real test. Do you have to do that? Can you do that? Is that an option? Yeah, you would do a practice first, so you just try things out. So that would be the ideal. The practice expedition could be just over 1 day, or it could be over 2 days. And again, you could discuss that with your DV leader, depending how the college wants to run that. Okay, great. Another one again around the expedition side of things and camping. Do I need my own camping equipment? Do I need to go out and buy a load of camping equipment to do that?
Shall I do this one?
So you don't, because Gavin might come in on this one, but yeah. What's you?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Paul. Yeah, so I didn't say earlier. So at the college, we've been donated lots of equipment. So at one of our campuses, we had a building full of equipment that was donated. We had rucksacks, we had waterproofs, we had fleeces, we had boots, we had everything. So if you want to take part in this, it shouldn't cost you anything. You don't need to buy anything. We can give you what you need if you don't already have it. So like Graham and I were saying before, really, it just comes down to putting a bit of effort in from you personally. We will give you all the equipment. I mean, if you've got your own, you can bring it. That's absolutely fine. But if you need boots or waterproofs or a bag or a tent or cooking equipment, we'll supply all of that. It's fine. Yeah, we've got loads of it. Yeah. Great, fantastic.
Next question is, what if I'm on my own? Will I have to camp with strangers?
No, you won't need to camp with strangers. In fact, with COVID at the moment, we are suggesting that people just camp in their own tent. As an individual, because that's the guidelines at the moment for COVID. So no, you don't need to camp with strangers.
Okay, fantastic. And then the next question is, how many hours a week is it? How many hours a week does it take up?
So it's 1 hour a week. Each section is for 1 hour a week, and they can run concurrently. So you could be involved in lots of things throughout the week. And as Gavin noticed before, you'll be doing lots of things anyway that you could class towards your DV, and you'll be doing lots and lots of things in college as well that you could class as your DV. So again, we can give you lots of advice on that.
Okay. Yeah, and on the back of that, and it might be one for Gavin, is can I use my enrichment time for DofE?
Might need clarifying actually. When you say enrichment,
don't worry. I'm not sure. That's all we've got.
Okay, so okay, so yeah, I'm guessing, yeah. So all it is with the DofE is if it's part of your college course already and it's something that you're doing as part of your college course, it can't count towards your Duke of Edinburgh award. So what it does need to be is something on top, because I guess the whole point about the DofE is you are volunteering a bit of your time to do something extra. So whatever that enrichment is that's being asked, if it's something a bit extra, that's fine. If it's in college, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. The next questions are about the different levels, so bronze and silver. The first one is, are you allowed to skip straight to silver? Do you have to do bronze first?
No, you can't go straight to silver. So some people coming to college may have already done bronze, so you could definitely go straight into silver. Just one of the sections is slightly longer, but again, we can advise you about that. But absolutely, you can do that.
And if people haven't done it bronze at school or beforehand, you always have to have done bronze at some point, do you?
No, you could start straight in at silver. Okay. It's a little bit more challenging because obviously it takes longer. As you'd expect, bronze, silver and gold divides up in challenges. So we would always try and advise you to start at bronze, but if all your friends want to start at silver and you want to start with your friends, by all means, go for it.
Okay. And then the next question is, I'd never finished my bronze in school. Can I finish it now?
Absolutely, a great idea to just finish it off at college. Again, we can support you and then move on to silver if you wished.
And would that just be a case of them carrying on where they left off, or would they have to start all over again? Or
yeah, they can just carry on where you left off, and again, just chat to your leaders, and we can help you. That would be a very, very easy thing to do.
Brilliant. Okay. There's a question here about activities. Can my parents sign off my activity?
No, you can't. So what happens is once you've completed your activity, we just ask an appropriate adult to sign them off. Quite often that should be a member of staff in college. That would be ideal, but you shouldn't really be asking your parents to sign that off. That could be a coach. It could be somebody in your neighbourhood if you've been helping out in your neighbourhood, but it shouldn't be a direct member of your family.
Okay. Next one is about who they do the DofE with. Can all my friends join me, and can my friends join in September? Two separate questions.
Absolutely great, Megan, coming on this one. One of the great advantages of DofE is that you can do it with all your friends. That is a big plus. Ideally, you should do it with your friends, and also bring in some new friends as well, so you end up with a big number of you all having a great time together.
Fantastic. Next questions, or last couple of questions actually here. How long will my DofE take? And I guess that depends on what level you're working towards. But how long will it generally take?
Your bronze, if you just take your time and plan it properly, it would take you just this first year. So it would be from September all the way through to about May time. And your silver, you could do again from September all the way through to following May as well. So it will fit quite comfortably within your college time.
Okay. Next question is, how much will it cost?
I think Gavin's already mentioned this, and he may come in on this. It won't cost you an absolute penny. It's all funded for you. It's all free. It's a great offer, an absolute fantastic offer. So hopefully you'll do it. Get your friends to do it with you as well, because it's a fun, free offer.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. We have one. Go for it. Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah. So I think the college really wants you to take part and do it. College really believes it's great. I believe it's great. So we don't want you to have to spend any money on this. Yeah. And we've got loads of different contacts and networks. So in college, out of college. So yeah, like Paul said, it shouldn't cost you a penny.
Fantastic. And the last question, and it rounds it up quite nicely actually, is and we've already mentioned it, so maybe Graham, you could possibly go back to the slide, but the question is, how do I sign up? So if we can reiterate how people can sign up for the Manchester College. There we go. Fantastic. So the details are all on there. And as we mentioned before, they will be published on the Manchester College website at a later date. So fantastic. So thanks, Graham, Paul, and Gavin, for your time today, and thank you everyone for joining us. If you'd like to find out more about the Manchester College, then we've got more live online Couch to College events taking place tomorrow and on Friday. That includes sessions on how to enrol, how to promote yourself to employers through social media, and then a session from our student experience team on what it's like being a student at the Manchester College. So to find out more about those sessions and to register, just visit tmc.ac.uk and then click on Couch to College. And that's about it. So once again, thank you very much for attending today, and we all look forward to welcoming you in September and hopefully onto one of our DofE awards. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.